Ladies and gentlemen, listen. I want you to take a moment and really understand this. Your worth is not up for debate. It's not something someone else can hand you or take away from you. It's not tied to what you have, what you don't have, or what you've done. Your worth is something deep inside of you, something that was put there the moment you took your first breath. It's an unshakable truth that no one can steal unless you give them permission. See, the world will try to convince you otherwise. The world will look at your mistakes and try to define you by them. It will measure you by the size of your bank account, the fame you've gathered, the titles you hold, or even the weight of your failures. But that's not what defines you. What defines you is your value as a human being, something intrinsic, something priceless. You've got to own this truth every single day. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I am worthy. Say it not because you're perfect, but because you were created to be enough just as you are. Worthiness isn't about being flawless. It's about being human, being raw, being real. And when you know your worth, you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. This worthiness demands respect. It demands that you stand up for yourself, set boundaries, and don't let anyone walk over your spirit. When you embrace your worth, you stop seeking validation from others because you already know who you are. You don't need applause. You don't need approval. You just need to recognize the power inside you. It's easy to get caught up in comparison, isn't it? To look at someone else's life and think they're better, stronger, or more deserving. But comparison steals your joy. It steals your confidence. Remember, there's no one else like you. There never has been, and there never will be. Your worth is unique because your story is unique. So how do you live in this truth? You start by honoring yourself. Take care of your mind, your body, your soul. Speak kindly to yourself. Protect your energy. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your value, who build you up instead of tearing you down. And when the voices of doubt creep in, and they will, fight back with the undeniable truth of who you are. When you truly understand your worth, you'll begin to attract better opportunities, better relationships, and better outcomes. Because worthiness is magnetic, it calls to the universe and says, I am here, and I am deserving, and the universe responds. But here's the real deal. You don't wait for the world to give you your worth. You don't wait for the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect moment. You claim it right now in this very second. You declare to yourself, I am worthy. Say it loud enough to drown out the noise of fear, doubt, and criticism. That's your foundation. That's your power. When you wake up every morning knowing your worth, nothing can stop you. Not the setbacks, not the critics, not the storms. Because your worth is a fire inside you, burning bright, unbreakable, and unstoppable. So, stand tall. Speak that truth every day. Own your worth like your life depends on it, because it does. Your life depends on it. Let me tell you something about resilience and growth, because these two things, they go hand in hand like nothing else. Life will hit you. It will knock you down hard. There will be moments when you feel like you can't take another step. Moments when the pain feels too much, the struggle too heavy. But here's the secret. Resilience is what makes you get back up, even when your knees are shaking and your heart is breaking. It's not about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. You understand this. The storms that come your way, they're not designed to break you. They're meant to build you, to shape you, to carve out something greater inside of you. When you face hardship, don't run from it, don't bury it, don't pretend it didn't happen. Embrace it, learn from it, because growth only comes when you're willing to push through the pain. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth is messy. It's not a straight line. It's a series of stumbles, setbacks, and moments where you feel like giving up. But growth is also where transformation happens. It's where you discover strength you didn't know you had. It's where you find wisdom in the ashes of your failures. You can't grow without struggle. You can't become without becoming uncomfortable. Here's what I want you to hear. Resilience is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. Every time you face a challenge and refuse to stay down, you're flexing that muscle. Every time you decide to keep going when everything inside you says quit, you're building resilience. And with each test, you're growing in ways that can't be measured by a paycheck or applause. It's growth that changes who you are at your core. Don't ever mistake a setback for defeat. It's not defeat unless you let it be. Sometimes you take a step back to gather yourself, to learn what you need to learn so that you can come back stronger. The people who succeed, the people who make it, aren't those who never fail. They're the ones who don't stop when they fail. You need to make peace with the idea that growth is ongoing. There is no finish line. Life is a constant evolution. And if you're not growing, you're shrinking, you're withering away. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with the process, because the process is the path to your greatness. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who push you out of your comfort zone, who believe in your ability to grow even when you don't believe in yourself. And when doubt creeps in, because it will, remind yourself that every great story is filled with trials. The question is not if you will face hardship, but how you will respond when it comes. Resilience and growth go together, because when you grow, you become more resilient. And when you're resilient, you have the strength to keep growing. It's a cycle of power that fuels your journey. It's what separates those who talk about their dreams from those who live them. So, don't be afraid to get up. Don't be afraid to stumble. Don't be afraid to grow. The only real failure is the failure to try again. Be relentless, be fierce, be resilient, because on the other side of that struggle is the life you were meant to live. You've got to understand something real deep. You are capable. Not someday, not if this or that happens. You are capable right now. Inside you lies a power that's been waiting to be unleashed. But here's the thing. Too often we doubt ourselves. We look in the mirror and see what we don't have instead of what we do. We listen to the voices that say, "You're not enough. You can't do this. Who do you think you are?" And that's where the problem starts. But let me be clear. Your capability doesn't depend on outside approval or perfect conditions. You don't need a green light from the world to step into your greatness. Capability is about belief. It's about owning what's already inside of you, the gifts, the skills, the determination. It's about recognizing that you have what it takes to meet the challenge, even if you don't feel ready. Capability is often disguised as confidence. You may not feel confident today, but you've got to act like you're capable. Sometimes capability comes first, then confidence follows. You've got to push past the fear, past the hesitation, and just move. Action is the bridge between doubt and ability. Think about all the times you've already overcome something tough. That's proof proof that you are capable. Life hasn't brought you this far just to leave you stranded. You've made it through storms, disappointments, and hard days, and you're still here. That's your capability showing up. Don't let the weight of failure or the shadow of past mistakes convince you otherwise. Capable people aren't the ones who never fall, they're the ones who get back up, learn the lesson, and keep going. Your capability grows stronger every time you refuse to quit. Sometimes the biggest enemy of capability is comparison. You look at others who seem to have it all figured out, and you forget that they started where you are. They had doubts too, they had setbacks, but they made a choice to believe in themselves anyway. So must you. Surround yourself with people who see your potential even when you don't. People who remind you of your power when you forget it. But most importantly, be that person for yourself. Speak to yourself with encouragement, with belief, with determination. Say, I can do this. I am capable. This isn't just about career or success. It's about life. You're capable of love, of healing, of growth, of making a difference. You're capable of showing up when it matters most, even when you're tired, even when the odds seem stacked against you. The world will test your resolve, but your capability is your armor. You've been equipped with everything you need. It's time to stop doubting, stop waiting, and start doing. The person you see in the mirror has within them the ability to move mountains. If only you'll let that truth sink in. You were made for this moment. The question is, will you believe it? Will you step into your power and claim your capability today, right now? Because when you do, there's nothing that can stop you. Forgiveness, that word right there, it's one of the hardest things to do. Not because it's easy to forget what's been done to you, but because it takes strength to let go. Strength to release the weight you've been carrying around on your shoulders, sometimes for years. But here's the truth. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about you. It's about freeing yourself from the prison of bitterness and pain. You might think holding on to anger or resentment gives you power, but it doesn't. It chains you down. It keeps you stuck in the past, living in yesterday's pain when today is waiting for you to live it fully. Forgiveness is the key to unlocking your future. It's saying, I am bigger than what happened to me. I am not defined by the hurt. I am choosing to be free. Now, I'm not telling you that forgiveness means you forget, or that you have to reconcile with those who wronged you. No, forgiveness is about releasing the grip their actions have on your heart. It's about letting go of the bitterness that eats away at your peace. And when you do that, you make space for healing, for growth, for joy. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. You carry guilt, shame, and regret for the mistakes you made. But here's a hard truth. If you can't forgive yourself, you're living a half life. You're stuck in a cycle of self-condemnation that keeps you from moving forward. You deserve forgiveness just as much as anyone else. You deserve a chance to be whole again. Forgiveness is a process, not a one-time event. It's something you have to practice every day. Some days it comes easier, other days it feels impossible. But each time you choose to forgive, you grow stronger. You reclaim your peace. You choose life over bitterness. Think about it like this. Carrying grudges is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. It hurts you more than it hurts them. But forgiveness heals. It restores your spirit and frees you to be who you were meant to be. It's the first step toward living a life unburdened by the chains of the past. So, start today. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I forgive myself. I release my pain. I am free. And if you're holding on to pain from someone else, say, I forgive you, I release you, I choose peace. Don't let the weight of unforgiveness steal another moment of your life. When you forgive, you're not weak. You're courageous. You're not giving up, you're stepping up. Forgiveness is a power move. It's saying that your future is more important than your past. And when you carry that truth in your heart, you become unstoppable. Remember, forgiveness frees you to live. It frees you to love. It frees you to dream again. So make the choice to forgive, not just for them, but for you. Listen up, because this is important. You are chosen, not by accident, not by chance, but by design. There's a purpose baked into your DNA that no one else can fulfill. You weren't just thrown into this world to wander aimlessly or blend into the crowd. You were selected, appointed, called out to do something greater than yourself. It's easy to forget this truth when life gets hard. When doors close, when you face rejection, when you're told you're not enough. But that doesn't change the fact that you are chosen. The very fact that you're here means you've been set apart. You've been given gifts and talents, a voice and a story that only you can tell. Being chosen means responsibility. It means that what you do matters not just for you, but for everyone around you. Your actions, your decisions, your faith, they ripple out in ways you can't even imagine. The world needs what you have, and it's waiting on you to step up and deliver it. Sometimes you might feel like you're waiting for a sign or permission to move forward. But here's the secret. The choice to act is already in your hands. The power is yours. You don't have to wait for anyone else to say you're ready. You are ready. You have been chosen for this moment. You might ask, why me? And the answer is simple, because you are equipped. Because you have a resilience, a strength, a fire inside that others don't have. Because your experiences, your struggles, your victories have prepared you uniquely for this purpose. You are the right person for the job. Being chosen also means that you have a role in something bigger than yourself. It means your life is intertwined with a greater plan. Even when things don't make sense, even when the path seems unclear, remember that you are part of a bigger story. You are a key player, not a bystander. When you live knowing you are chosen, your confidence shifts. You walk differently, you speak differently, you carry yourself with a dignity and a purpose that commands respect. You don't settle for less, and you don't give up when the going gets tough. And don't let fear or doubt stop you. Those are lies trying to keep you small. They want you to forget who you are. But you've got to remember every day, I am chosen. I am appointed. I am destined for greatness. So stand up and own it. Own your story, your calling, your gifts. Step into your purpose boldly. The world is waiting for you to show up as the person you were made to be. You are chosen, and that means you can do hard things. You can break through barriers. You can change lives. You can make history. It's your time. It's your moment. Step into it with faith, with courage, and with the unshakable belief that you were made for this. I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are unstoppable. Not because the road will be easy, not because the challenges won't come, but because inside of you there's a fire that can't be put out. There's a strength that no circumstance can take away. You might stumble, you might fall, but you will never stay down unless you decide to. And I'm telling you right now, You weren't made to stay down. Being unstoppable isn't about never facing difficulties. It's about what you do when they come. It's about getting back up when the world tries to knock you out. It's about refusing to let failure define you or fear control you. The people who change the world, the people who make history, they don't quit when it gets hard. They dig deeper, they push harder, they keep moving forward. You have to understand that unstoppable is a mindset. It's a declaration. When you say, I am unstoppable, you're making a promise to yourself. You're saying, no matter what comes my way, I will keep going. I will not be defeated. And that promise, it fuels your journey. There will be days when the weight feels too heavy, when the doubts creep in, when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments that separate the quitters from the winners. You've got to be willing to push through the pain, to silence the noise, to keep your eyes on the prize. Remember, unstoppable doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're persistent. It means you're committed. It means you don't stop showing up, even when it's hard, even when the world doubts you, even when your own mind questions you. You show up, you do the work, you keep grinding, and here's the truth that people often miss. You are unstoppable because you're not doing this alone. Whether you believe it or not, there's a power greater than you walking with you. There's a source of strength that will never leave you hanging. When you tap into that, you become unstoppable in ways you never imagined. You've got to protect your mind from negativity. You've got to guard your heart from despair. You've got to feed your soul with hope and belief. When you do that, your unstoppable spirit grows stronger. It becomes a force that can't be stopped by setbacks or critics or failure. So, when life tries to tell you no, you tell it, watch me. When doors close, you find a window. When people doubt you, you prove them wrong. When fear whispers quit, you roar back, not today. Being unstoppable is about legacy. It's about living a life so powerful and so full of purpose that nothing can hold you back. You owe it to yourself to live that way, to be that person. Because the world needs your fire, your passion, your unstoppable spirit. Stand up, step forward, declare it. I am unstoppable. Say it until you believe it. Because once you do, nothing, no obstacle, no challenge, no setback can stand in your way.